Everybody loves Sow Love Garden. Sow Love.
Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the garden tour update here at Sow Love Garden. I was able to get through about halfway of the garden space on the last video, so I want to go ahead and close out by doing the other half. So grab a cup of coffee, grab your favorite beverage, take a little seat, different updates and kind of a chit chat. So drop any questions you have for me in the comments and let's get on with the tour. So in the last video you saw the tomato bed. Right behind that space we have the strawberries, which I'm just going to show you how I pinch off the blooms. It's just really as simple as pulling them off, and you can definitely go in and compost things if you want to. I just kind of drop them in my garden bed, but that is what I do. Any runners, I do the same thing. Okay, so these are actually producing some fruit here. So what this will do, if you're starting some strawberry plants and in their first year, like I was getting a lot of fruit, but it was small, tasty but small. So it's because the strawberries weren't yet that established. So in order to get a bigger fruit, like bigger size fruit, you want to come in and pinch those off the first year, and you'll be rewarded with bigger fruit next year. So this is another one of those lemongrass plantings right there, and then there's another one right down there, if you can see it at the end of the bed. So again, this is just a stem that I purchased at an Asian market and popped in some water and soil, and you know, there came the roots. So I did 2 experiments, one in water and one in soil, and they both rooted. So very easy to root that. Here are the blueberries, which are loaded. This is the pink lemonade blueberry, which has some fruit. I think this is the heaviest amount of fruit on one blueberry that we have right now. This is the, let's see, the Tiff blueberry. This one is the Alapaha blueberry, which you can see the fruit here. Still pretty green. I am planning on covering these with some bird cloth, which I really need to do like ASAP, just so we can actually have the fruit and not the birds. This is a, let's see, Vernon blueberry, which it has quite a bit of fruit as well. So if you didn't see how I planted these, that I did a video on, how I planted all of these. I'll try to link it below, but definitely take a look, because we are having some luck this year with the blueberries. This is another of the, let's see, pink lemonade, I believe. Yeah, the pink lemonade blueberries, and then that's the Jersey blueberry, which has actually grown really good. I wasn't expecting it to like bud any flowers because it was so small, but it's doing pretty good. So right behind here I have some zinnias planted. I thought I popped in some sunflower too, but maybe it's just zinnias. So that'll be cool to see a nice backdrop of color behind the blueberries. So we're back to one of the grow bags, and these I just popped in some seeds. It's warm enough right now to where you can essentially plant things directly into your garden and the seeds will germinate. So these are all different tomato varieties. There's a giant pink Belgium, yellow pear. This is anybody knows how to pronounce that. But I grew this last year at my old house, and it gave me some pretty big tasty fruit, and that was like the last seed, so I'm planning on saving some seeds. This is the White Wonder, which that's a new variety to me as well. And of course I'm going to thin these out. I'll probably put some in pots and, you know, either give them away, sell them, you know, whatever. But I will thin these out. Over here are some comfrey plants that I started from seed. I ordered some seeds online and those are doing really, really good. So I put these can get pretty big. And the pollinators love comfrey. So if you plan on growing comfrey, put it in a place where you don't mind it getting, spreading out. But there are a lot of benefits to growing comfrey in your garden. I'll do some videos on that as I'm able to start harvesting some of the leaves. But I'm very excited to have the comfrey in my garden this year. This is a moringa tree that I started from seed, and I went on and gave it its own pot. At some point I'll probably up pot it to a pot similar to the size of like a pot that size, possibly, so like a 25 or perhaps even bigger. I didn't necessarily want to plant this in the ground. I do want to control the size because these can get quite large. So I want to control the size and I want to keep it in the pot. This is the same thing with the lemon scented gum tree, which is essentially like a eucalyptus. So I started those from seeds, and you can see that coming up and doing really good. So these are their homes for now. All right, right here in this bed there is some sunflowers planted, there's some cilantro, there's corn, there's squash, there's Malabar spinach. The oxalis plant, y'all, has made a comeback. Remember I was talking about I thought I had killed it, so I pretty much kind of just left it alone, gave it some water, a little bit of fertilizer, and it's doing good. So happy to report I didn't kill the oxalis. This is, let's see, wax melon. That's new to me as well. I think maybe that's it coming up right there. Has to be. I didn't plant anything else there unless it's a weed, but it looks like maybe it was some wax melon seeds have germinated already. I think I just put those in the ground maybe 2-3 days ago. But as hot as it is, things are germinating pretty quickly. This is a new bed. So I have in the middle created like a TP system, which will allow some beans to grow up right here. And then in the middle, I planted some cabbage and some kale, hoping that the beans will shade those out and make them slower to bolt. So little experiment going on there, trying to create a little microclimate right in the middle for some of the cooler temperature crops. And then I popped in a tomato. You can see a marigold and some chamomile over there. These are, I believe these are, oh goodness, what are those? Is this? Oh, okay, this is the walking stick kale, I believe. So if these get really big, what I plan on doing is allowing something to grow up the walking stick kale as I harvest it. So we'll see, fingers crossed on that. Over here is our artichoke, which is doing okay. I've moved it like 2 times. Like first it was right there, I moved it over, and then so it might have gotten a little bit shocked and grown a little bit slower, but I see a new leaf coming up in the middle. Right over next to it is a cardoon, which is related to the artichoke plant, but I don't think the flowers are edible, if I'm not mistaken. But this actually gets larger than the artichoke, so I more than likely will end up moving, one of these out as it gets bigger. But the leaves, again, I can use to, as mulch, or use in the compost bin, like a chop and drop type of system. So we'll see how that goes with the cardoon. All right, over here are tomatoes, which you can see there are several tomato plants planted there. There's some onions along the edge, and then there is some, I believe this is tree collards right here, and marigolds. The bee is back, y'all. It's bothering me. I don't know why. So annoying. Okay. So more tomatoes planted here in the middle, and then there's some radishes. And then I did this trellis system, which I told y'all about. I'm planning on allowing them to, tie a string over the top, allow the tomato to kind of climb up and be supported, single stem. So I'll do some updates on how that progresses. And then there are some bell peppers planted in here. I planted those fairly close, like bell peppers don't mind, touching shoulders, holding hands. So that'll be okay for them. There's some peanut plants planted there. Those are great for fixing nitrogen into the soil. And then you, of course, can, eat the peanuts. So grew those last year and it worked out pretty good in my old garden. So we'll see how that goes. More pepper plants. These are cucamelons right here. So I'm hoping those will grow nicely up this trellis system right here. There's a yarrow plant tucked in right there. This is, I believe, a squash. Yeah, a delecta squash planted right there. And then are the peas I was telling you guys about a little earlier, planted out the same time as the blue sweet peas, and I'm letting some of the pods go to seed. Say hey, Abby. Abby has just joined us.
Hi.
Have you been eating and enjoying these peas?
Yes.
Yeah, these are pretty tasty. So as they swell, of course you can open these up and eat them, and they're really, really sweet. But they're more tender when they are flat like this. So, but here's a good example of one that is, pretty nicely swollen, which I'm gonna let it just dry on the vine, and then I'll be able to harvest the seeds and save for next year. So that's been a really nice treat to come out and have in the garden. These are broccoli romanesco or romanesca, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, planted right here, which I planted in some more beans to grow up these and hopefully shade out the broccoli. Of course I need to thin these out, but we'll see what that experiment yields. I may move it, I may not. I might move some to another place and leave some here and just kind of see what works best. You want to show them the new flower pot?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. All right, so this is our banana tree, which got a new home. And around here, I believe these are called Pelosia. I might be saying that wrong. Right here, and this is Del Pendia. I might be saying that wrong. But this is related to the Mandeliva plant, which vines. This will get more bushy, so it'll be a nice kind of border around this banana plant. Of course, this banana plant can get really big and spread, but until it does that, it'll share its space with some other things growing alongside it. So, all right. Thank you, Abby.
You're welcome.
And that's Abby's favorite. That's Abby's favorite color, the pink. And you can see her pink hair bow. Uh-oh, go call Talia.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So this is the strawberry pot I was telling you guys about. I'm letting the flowers kind of come in and actually turn into strawberries. So you can see the different blooms on here. And this one's looking a little sad, I think, because it's so hot out here right now. Because I came out this morning and it was okay. So there's a nice size strawberry right there. And I'm wondering, it'd be really cool if that would be a nice surprise and be a pineberry strawberry. So we'll keep you, oh, look at the pest. Look at the bug. Oh, so annoying. I try not to get too upset about pests. Of course, it is disappointing when you have something wiped out that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into growing. But keep in mind that's all a part of the ecosystem. you know, and then a good rule of thumb is plant enough to share. So to share with bugs, share with family, share with friends, you know, that way, you know, you're kind of giving back in some way. So I try to look at it that way. But this is the only pot that I will allow to produce some fruit. So we'll keep you posted on how this one does, and especially in terms of next year. Like, since this one did go to fruit, will the fruit be bigger next year? Will it be smaller next year? You know, will the plants die out? Especially compared to the ones that I am cutting off the blooms of or from. So another little experiment going on to see what works best. So I did tuck in a let's see what this is. Oh, this is the white scallop squash, which I fell in love with last year. Found out about it from Jess on Roots and Refuge Farm, which, you know, everybody knows Jess. But you know, I found out about it through her, grew some last year, and really loved the taste. So I'm excited to have that. And of course I have that tucked in a couple more places in the garden. More of these strawberries planted along the side. Right in the middle are some radishes. And I'm noticing quite a few tomatoes have some blooms on them. So definitely need to come out here and do some pruning off the suckers, just to make sure that I'm doing the best I can to make sure they're healthy. And some of these I've come in and cut off. Like you can see, I've cut that one off, but it came in and just grew another one. So that was all this week. So be mindful, be diligent when you can about checking things in your garden, especially when you're trying to train them a certain way or grow them a certain way. So these I of course planted from seed, and you can see they're doing really good. So fingers crossed we get a really nice harvest this year. This is squash. I'm sorry, no, this is cabbage. Nero Toscana cabbage. Planted right there, and some fennel planted right there, which I might move into a shadier spot. I don't know much about growing fennel. This is my first year, but I'm thinking it's not looking like it's doing that well, and it's not really looking like it's happy there. So I will do some research and make some adjustments. So the dragon fruit is planted here, and again guys, I got these off of Marketplace. I got these just as a small cutting. It was about this size. I bought 2 of them, and this one has doubled in size, and then the other pot is growing a 3rd, 4th actually. Little plant right there on the top. So let me get out the light. Okay, so there's one, and then there's another one. But it's amazing to see how much it's grown. So the idea is that these will, excuse me, Abby, these will grow up and be supported by this wooden stake here. And then in the fall, winter, I do plan on taking some cuttings, taking some inside to root, and leaving some in the greenhouse just to kind of see what works best for it. But I will take some inside just in case I lose it. I don't want to lose it, and I can start all over again next year. So this one is will be supported by this wooden stake here, and I planted some Jericho lettuce around the sides, I believe some garlic chives in the middle, and then essentially the same thing in the other pot. Okay. Happy. What's your favorite plant growing right now in the garden?
Strawberries.
The strawberries. Yeah,
and flowers.
The flowers are really pretty. Do you have a favorite flower growing right now that you want to show them?
The pink one's over there.
Oh, the pink ones we just showed. Yeah, Abby's favorite color is pink. My favorite color right now is purple. Has been purple for a little while.
Show them the orange flower.
Sure.
And I also like I also like another flower that's in the garden.
All right, you remember where it is? Where is it? We'll follow you. Come on.
Here.
All right, so yeah, that's the poppy we saw. I know it opened up. Remember this morning it wasn't even opened? It's really cool. While we're over here, y'all, I forgot to mention this is a pineapple that I started last year. I cut and rooted, was it 1 year ago or 2 years ago now? I think it's 1 year. This is in its second year. So there's toothache plant planted back there. And then I have more tomatoes, squash. Let's see what that is. That's tomato, right? I didn't put the tag with the other. So I believe those are all squash, possibly some sunflowers in there too. This I'm excited about, the Berries Crazy Cherry. I see so many posts online with like loads and loads of yellow tomatoes. So I'll thin that out, of course. I might move one to another area in the garden, but I'll definitely thin that out and allow some things to pot up so I can have some more to succession plant in. Yeah. All right, guys, so that does wrap up our garden walk, garden tour. I do hope that you enjoyed. I definitely enjoy. I can talk probably all day about things growing in the garden and how to grow things and experimenting. So I do hope that you enjoy. Please leave a comment in the, let me know what you're growing, what's growing well, what experiments you have going in the garden. Please do also like, share, and subscribe. And pop over to Instagram and follow us there and let me know in the comments how you found my channel. So that wraps up our video. Please do tune in for the next one.
Well, sorry.
Please do tune in for the next one, and we'll see you next time. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Hope to see you in the next video.
Yes, definitely. Bye, guys.
Everybody loves Sow Love Garden. Sow Love.